Now, Team Mars, first I would like to introduce to you now Robert Garcia. There's no question that Robert Garcia is today, if not one of the best, in my opinion, the best trainer in the sport. And his record speaks for itself. You look at what he has done with Mikey Garcia, who in my opinion is pound for pound the most talented and best fighter in the world today. You look at what he has done with Abner Mares at a time when many fight fans and media members counted Mares out. What he did with him, come up with the right game plan to defeat Dejan Slachatinin last December here at the Galen Center. You know, you see now what he's doing with two of my Mexican prospects, the two Mexican Olympians, Lindolfo Delgado and Misael Rodriguez. So he really is, in my opinion, today, a league of his own. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you Robert Garcia.
I ain't got much to say. Just want to thank everybody for being here, for supporting this event. It's a great event for Southern California. We got Leo, who is obviously one of the great champions here in Southern California, and Abner Mares. And obviously, Avalos, glad for him to get an opportunity. We're going to be ready for a great fight, and I just hope everybody shows up and supports the local Southern California fighters. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Robert. Now, next up to the podium is somebody who certainly doesn't need any introduction anywhere in the world, but particularly not here in his adopted hometown of Los Angeles. He's a 2004 Olympian, where he represented Mexico. He faced everyone, as I mentioned before, from 118 to 126 pounds. Has never, and I really mean never, been in a boring fight. Always gives it his all. And as I mentioned as well, turned back the clock in December and proved everyone that this chapter here for Abner Mares is just the beginning for other great fights. It's the hottest division in the sport. He knows that first things first. He knows that he's going to have a tough challenge ahead of him. But as I said, he never shies down of one. And with the record of 30 wins and 2 losses, the 5-time world champion, my good friend Abner Mares.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was hoping that I would be on this side and Leo on this side for this fight, but business-wise and for the reasons it did not happen. It would happen. It will happen within time. But now we have two tough opponents in front of us. Myself, I have Andres Gutierrez, who you guys already probably searched him up, and like Richard said, he was going to fight Frampton. Richard said he called an upset on that fight. Let's see what he calls on this one. But I'm going to be ready. As hard as I was training for the Leo fight, I'm going to train as hard for this fight, because we all know that these young fighters. He's 24 years old. Has, for that young age, a tremendous record of 36, 25 knockouts, only 1 defeat. He's a warrior. Got no easy task, no easy fight. And, but he doesn't have the talent I have. He doesn't have the heart I have. He doesn't have the coach I have. He doesn't have, just overall anything I have. So I'm just going to come out victorious. I'm going to come out and give you guys a good fight. I'm fighting again here in California, my home. Show you guys, what I've learned with my team. I want to thank Robert Garcia for bringing the best of Abner. Obviously, you guys saw my last fight, and it's going to continue to shine. We feel confident, sparring after sparring, how we've looked. I want to thank my sparring partner, Louis, who's here too. Great sparring partner, young, up-and-comer, what's the last name? Luis Coria. You guys are, hopefully we get him in that card too. He's an up-and-comer, great amateur background, great sparring, and like I said, Robert Garcia, his son Pita. I want to thank Luis Garcia, my conditioning coach, who's been my conditioning coach for the past 8 years, if not more. I want to thank my wife, my kids, my brother who's back there, everyone, my camera guy, you guys, everyone. Leo, Avalos. I've known Avalos for many years as well. We used to be sparring partners back in the days. And he's a tough guy, man. So we both have a tough fight at the Stub Up Center. Do not miss it. October 14th. I can't wait to show you guys a good fight from my side, to show you guys a new Abner. And I know I sound repeatedly because I say this every fight, and it's because I am learning more and I am becoming a better fighter, and you will see. So thank you guys again so much. Al Heyman, the whole team, the Watsons, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You know, about who would I pick in this fight, I can tell you there are two guys in the sport I would never pick against. Not only because they're just two great friends, two great fighters, but because they are so skillful. They are so skillful, and both of those guys are sitting up here, and that's Leo and that's Abner. They're just unbelievable people inside the ring and outside of the ring. So you asked who I would pick in this fight? Well, you know, there you got your answer. Now, let's move on to Leo Santa Cruz versus Cruz Avalos. Another fight between two of the most exciting fighters in the sport. I mean, when you look at the matchmaking of those two fights, you just know for sure that these are going to be fights which are going to be exciting. These are really not just like opponents. I wouldn't even call them opponents. These are guys who are hunters, who want to hunt for that title, for what Leo has and what Abner has. And Cruz Avalos is certainly no exception to that. So I know that Chris will be ready. He's coming off a TKO victory over Miguel Flores in his last fight. He knows he has a great team behind him as well with his father. Incidentally, both of those fighters are trained by their fathers. I think that's very noteworthy as well. And I'd like to introduce to you now Felipe Avalos, the father and trainer of Cruz Avalos.
Buenas tardes a todos y muchas gracias por venir ahora en este día. Y pues yo pienso que va a ser una pelea, buena pelea, una pelea que no vamos, esta oportunidad que nos está dando Leo Santa Cruz, gracias, muchas gracias al equipo Santa Cruz, y les prometo que va a ser una pelea muy buena y venimos muy bien preparados. Esta oportunidad no la vamos a dejar ir y la vamos a aprovechar al 100%. Se los prometo que va a ser una pelea muy buena y emocionante. Gracias.
Translate for those of you. Excuse me. Well, I can translate it. Yeah, come on. So Felipe said that this is one of those opportunities where you know you're going to have to be well prepared, that he will be well prepared, that Chris has been waiting for that, and that he can't wait for this for October the 14th. Did I pretty much say that well? All right, good. See, come on. You're going to speak in English, I'm going to then translate it into Spanish. No, I wouldn't do that. Well, now to move on, it is a pleasure for me to introduce to you a fighter with the record of 27-5. He's fighting out of Lancaster, California, and as his father just said, I know he's been waiting for that. He knows that beating Leo Santa Cruz will be a game changer, a career changer for him. He's hungry, he's ready, and he will show up on October the 14th. It's a pleasure for me to introduce you, Cruz Avalos.
Hi, I just want to thank everybody for coming, and also, like my dad said, you know, I would like to thank Al Heyman and Leo Santa Cruz for the opportunity. And yeah, I'm not a big talker, so I'm just ready for the fight, and you know, it's going to be a good fight. I'm beyond ready. I think it's going to be a nice little war, so kind of safe for the fight. I like going toe to toe, so does he. So I mean, it's gonna be a good fight. And again, I'd like to thank everybody. And yeah, I got not a lot to say, so appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Now on to Team Santa Cruz. Really a pleasure to introduce them again. I've done a few of the press conferences for Leo, so I'm really happy to be part of your career again. I'd like to first acknowledge Jose Santa Cruz, Leo's father. He is unfortunately wasn't able to be here today, but I'd like to acknowledge as well Antonio, Leo's brother, who I don't. Do you want to say a few words? Or? You're okay. Okay. Anyway, so welcome and happy that you are here. What can I say about Leo Santa Cruz? A 3-division world champion, 118 pounds, 122, 126 pounds. Last fight was the fight of the year against Carl Frampton, but frankly, I think in the last 5, 6, 7 years, Leo Santa Cruz fights have always been either fight of the year, or candidate of the year, or round of the year, or fighter of the year. He was always involved in that. And that tells you what an exciting fighter Leo Santa Cruz is. Another one of those fighters who never turns down a challenge, comes well prepared, and boring doesn't exist in the Santa Cruz vocabulary. He's exciting. He's must-see TV. He's one of those handful fighters where you don't want to miss the chance to see him live. And you have an opportunity here, fight fans from and around Los Angeles, for $30. I mean, $30 to see not only Leo, but Abner as well. And as I said in the beginning of the press conference, double trouble at the StubHub Center. It is a pleasure for me now to introduce to you another fighter who I really consider a friend as well, a gentleman in and out of the ring, with a record of 33-1, the current WBA Super World Champion, Leo Santa Cruz.
Muy buenas tardes a todos, and good afternoon everyone. And well, I'm just very happy, I'm very happy to be back to fight here in LA. And I owe all this to to my manager Al Heyman, to all of you guys, to Richard, to Tom Brown from CGP, the Watson team, my family, all people, all the fans that make this possible. I'm just glad to be able to fight here in LA again. And like people, they were expecting for me to fight Abner Mares, but I don't know, for a reason it didn't happen. And Cruz Abner is a fighter I know since in amateurs. I seen him fight there. He fought a couple of my teammates. He beat one of them, and then me and him fought too. And we were like 15, 16 years old, and we fought. It was a great fight, tough fight. And a lot of people are saying that why take an easy fight? There's no easy fight. I don't see no easy fight. I never underestimate no fighter. For me, every fighter that steps up there in the ring with me is the same as tough as anybody else. Because anything will happen up there in the ring. A good shot, he will connect you with good shot or anything. And he's tough. He's tough. I seen him fight, and he has good power. Out of 27 wins, he got 20 knockouts. So like I said, I never underestimate nobody. I prepared. Right now, my focus is on him. We were training really hard for him, and we're gonna come really good. We're gonna go out there, give a great fight. Like he says, he comes forward, I go forward. So it's gonna be a good little war, and hopefully, God, we get the win. We'll give you guys the rematch that you guys all want. Me against Abner Mares. Mares is a tough fighter. You guys saw the first fight. It was a war, toe to toe. I respect him. Like I said, it was a really close fight. Thank God I got the victory. And now, he could get the, be able to take the bench that, bench the loss. But, we're going to train. He has a great trainer, Robert Garcia. He changed him, the first fight against me, he brawled, and maybe people could say that that was a mistake, that he should have boxed me. And then against Cuellar, he boxed really good. He surprised all of us, he did what he had to do. He was smart. And that makes it just for a even better fight if, you know, if we get the opportunity to fight each other. But right now, like I said, my focus is on Avalos. I know it's going to be a great fight, and we're just getting ready for that fight, and hopefully October 14th, we do a great fight for all the fans, and so come support us, and thank you, all of you guys.
Thank you, Leo, and I think you all heard it from Leo, you all heard it from Abner as well. What they really want is two warriors to fight each other. But on October the 14th, this is a must-win night, and I know for Avalos and Gutierrez, who's not here, but when they hear or read these kind of statements, that gives them extra motivation to upset the apple cart, as they say. So I know those two warriors here will not underestimate these opponents, and we as fight fans are going to be the beneficiaries of that. I know, and I don't like to guarantee, but I will guarantee in this case, we will see on October the 14th at the Stop-Up Center toe-to-toe action. Double Trouble from the Stop-Up Center, October the 14th for $30. Hope to see you all there. Thank you very much. We're going to close the fighters now.
Come on, Abner!